All right. So today we are going to be discussing establishing a personal brand for impact. Today's topic is not going to be I should me informing you that a personal brand is where you should now start going towards. Like most people, when they hear personal brand, they hear something like having a YouTube channel, or having a TikTok channel, talking about yourself, finding maybe Instagram and all the rest. Personal brand has a kind of a tie to creator having and being a social media influencer and all that. No, in today's or in the freelance world, yeah, personal brand is more like being so good at what you do that when you are not around, people are talking about your services to other people who may need it. So how do I explain this? Okay, in 2020, I had a client, right, that he I think it was 2019 if I'm not mistaken. 2019, yeah. He's a lawyer, but when he called me, the first thing he told me on the phone was, "Hello, who is this? Is this Nicholas Idoko? Are you a software engineer?" And I said yes. Then he told me that, "Are you sure you are good? Because the last person I employed, I had to take the person to prison." you know, imagine that's the first thing you are hearing from somebody that wants to um that needs your service to design a website for him. So I now asked what happened. He told me that he gave the former website designer some money to do a website for him, and the person did a horrible job. He has been trying to get the person to correct the work, and that person um um you know is not doing anything. So he has tried to reach out to him so many times, and a project that was supposed to go on for 3 weeks is now taking about 3 months. um so he had to get police involved. Like I told you earlier on, he's actually a lawyer for real, not lawyers that make mouth. This one, he goes to court cases and all that stuff. And that was how they took him to prison, only for them to discover that he himself is not actually a web designer, he's a graphic designer. But what he did was he took the money and went to Fiverr, found one of the Indian guys, and got them engaged to work on the project. Now, when the Indian guys delivered the project, they took their hands off the project, and he did not expect the revisions that the lawyer was asking him to do. So he does not know how to do it, and he has been running around looking for how he's going to do it. So he was explaining that the graphic designer guy, that he did not make any profit from it. In fact, he was losing money because anytime he's doing review, he's paying the Indian guy. So he got to the point whereby he's no longer making any revenue. So that's why he stopped answering his call. He stopped doing it. It's like as if he's now the one paying for the project. You know, so in essence, he was the middleman. He's not actually a software engineer, which was why when he called me, the first thing he asked me is, "Are you actually a software engineer? Do you actually code?" So that he's not going to repeat the same mistake of getting somebody who is claiming to be a software engineer but does not know how to code. A lot of those people are there. There are a lot of middlemen in freelancing. Once you advance, you get to see that too. So now, how does this relate to personal brand? I had to convince him and tell him that he should not worry. His project is going to be done. It is going to be fine. You are going to do it carefully. You get an update once a week. In 3 weeks, the entire project is done. He now told me that he does not mind waiting for 6 weeks, but he doesn't want to be disappointed after 3 weeks. And he was very actually, is that even the right word? Abrasive or what? It was rough around the edges during when we were having the meeting. It was, you know, very authoritative. And I kind of understand from his own perspective, but I did not want to take it personal because I kind of understood it. So I said, okay, that's fine. Let's work on the project. So he made initial payment. Obviously, I split it in 3 weeks. That is how I work. And after the first week, I did the update. He loved what I did, way better than what was done before by the Indian guys. I did the second update. He was very amazed. I did the third update, and the third week, the project was done, like done for real, and he loved it. In fact, there was no even revision. But most of the time, these clients, the problem is sometimes you just need to understand what they want and what they are targeting, what they are trying to achieve, but most times most people don't want to understand it. They always pay me, let me get it done. Or I've met somebody one time. I know I'm rambling, but that's what I do. I met somebody one time that he took a project from a client, but he does not even have a memorandum of understanding. There is no project proposal there. It's just what the client told him on the phone, and he's still working on it, and the client paid him. And I told him when he started that project that this is not going to go down well for you. Eventually, it did not go down well for him, because even the client that was speaking to him on the phone, giving him an idea of what he wants to do, would likely forget what he's saying. There is no, there is nothing like having things on a document. That's why they say the pen is mightier than the sword. Writing it is stronger than any memory you can have. So eventually, that project went horribly. When I mean horribly, it was one of the most horrible projects flow I've ever seen, because everything was done via phone call. It was now you said this and I said this, you said this and I said this. So, uh, when coming back to the lawyer client, after I had finished the project, yeah, and we delivered on the project, he was so happy with what I did that unknowing to me, I'd already created a brand identity with him. So, as a lawyer, anytime there is somebody that comes to his office that wants to register CAC or that wants to do something regarding online work, who does he call? Is me. So because of that, he got my contact through Naira Land, which is what, like in the previous video, I was saying something about Naira Land. It was back then when I was running ads on Naira Land. That's how I got to meet him, through Naira Land. And he brought me a lot of clients. He still, even till this day, as I'm talking to you today, I'm working on a project with him. We just concluded on a project with him, and there's another project that he's looking forward to doing. Till this day, this very day, 2024, December 18, right? So, and this is a client I met in 2019. So if you do a very good job, you don't need to worry so much about marketing, because your good job, the way you present your project, the way you talk to your client, all those things are going to create a brand identity for you. It will create a personal brand for you. People would refer you to people without even you being there. I know how many people have said no to this December just because of maybe I've reached my capacity. And these things, people are not from marketing or ads or anything, they are from referrals. So, because they trust that if they give me their project is going to be delivered in the best possible way. I offer support for a lifetime. So, if there's an issue, I'm always there to see how we can solve the issue, right? So, they feel more relaxed and more comfortable with me handling the project for them. Do you get? Now, if you have a bad reputation, no matter how you try and build your personal brand online, you will not have repeat clients. And I will tell you for a fact, there is nothing more juicy, sweeter, better than having repeat clients. That is one of the best things, because once they trust your work, it's easier for you to give them a comfortable price, and it's easier for you to feel relaxed knowing that you don't have to be looking for clients all the time. So try to build your personal brand on the fact that you can deliver on a project effortlessly, make it good, make them happy. Very important. All it is that don't take your entry into the freelance game to make yourself happy all the time. You should also have the goal to make your clients happy, make your clients comfortable, make them smile once they think about you, knowing that hey, I get person way this engineering, software engineering thing, website thing, any whatever it is that you're freelancing, this guy will deliver. Just give it to him, he's going to deliver. So that is how you can build and establish a personal brand for impact. Make sure you deliver on every project that you are working on. Now, I'm not going to sit down here and stay on the high horse and say every project you will deliver. No, some people are you cannot please them. That is obvious. I've been in the game long enough to know that you are going to eventually meet people that you cannot please. In a situation like that, the best thing you can do to maintain your reputation and your brand identity is to refund them back the money. And some of them can be stupid or crazy and be telling you something stupid like, what about the time that they have spent? Is it about the money? Just find a way to give them back their money and let everything go in peace. Don't let it go in a fight way. Let it go. Just refund them their money back, and if tell them that if they are willing to take it further, they are free to go to the law court. Most of them will not do it. In fact, 99% of the time, well, how do you want, because most of the time they are the ones at fault, unless it's you that is now doing something crazy, and maybe you take a project, another bigger project come, you want to do that is not acceptable. But if the client is the one at fault, the client, he or she is not going through, is not following the memorandum of understanding or the project proposal, you have every right to refund the money back and contain and maintain your peace of mind. Because in this freelance game, there is nothing more valuable than peace of mind. It means more than money. If you are not at peace, you cannot do any project. If you are not at peace, the money you have means nothing. So always protect your peace of mind with everything you have. It is very important, right? So if you see a client that is reasonable, you can do the project where, make sure you over deliver. Don't just deliver. If you over deliver after the update, you give them a good email on what the work is done. Don't just write the work is done. What have you done? If possible, do a video. If possible, do a meeting. This is what I have done. This is how I've done it. What do you think? How do we? And don't be scared of revisions. When I started my job, when I started as a freelancer, I always worried, and I felt scared of revisions. What if the clients want to change this and change this? But when I embraced it, I was like, whatever is be, let it be, the sky will not fall down. Give me your revisions. In fact, I started making the revisions the sweetest part of the work. I embraced revisions. Give me whatever I want, as long as it's within the project scope. I don't mind. Tell me what is your revision is, and I'm going to get it done for you. Because I know that if I have you as a repeat client, my life is better. I would rather work hard on a client and keep them and maintain them as a repeat client than I work hard on a client and I do some crazy things and I have to now go into the market to find another client. It's not easy to be doing all those things, right? So maintain and establish your personal brand. What you need to do is just simple. That money you'll be looking at is spending on adverts and spending on marketing and doing promotions and making sure you look like somebody that can do the job. Take that money, go to one restaurant, eat something good, take care of yourself, buy clothes if that's what you're into, and focus all your energy on when you have a project, deliver it the best way you can. And you will watch and see how your brand will just grow. It will just on its own. It will take time. Oh, I'm not saying it is going to grow automatically by snapping fingers, but it will grow to the point whereby it's now you that have the leverage. And as a freelancer, leverage is your ultimate weapon. If you don't have leverage, even if you are in freelancing for 30 years, you are going to suffer all the time. So the goal of freelancing is, as you are growing, you have leverage, you have leverage, you have leverage. People know that they trust you to do this thing. They know that if I call Nicholas is going to do this thing very, very well, and we are going to enjoy working on it. I try to make clients working with me to feel like an experience. It's not just about me working on it. I try to keep them involved. I try to make sure that they are understood. I try to make sure that I even try to make sure that they get updates in a very professional manner, right? So that they can keep track of what is going on the platform. So I think that's all I have for you today. I don't want you to start thinking that your personal branding is expensive. No, you can start your personal brand on your own. You can do your personal brand easily just by making sure that when you get a project, you over deliver. It's not about delivering and saying the work is done. It's about making it an experience, making it feel like you are invested in the project because you are part of that project. If that project does well, or no, even no matter what happens to the project, if you give them a good experience, you have somebody for life that would always reach out to you for more work I think that's all I have. Thank you and bye bye.